Hey guys, welcome back to Train Simulator 2017 and the South Wales coastal route and the next scenario, which is again a yellow difficulty. So welcome aboard to U20. Things are a little different today as we're covering a shortage of trains at GWR, Great Western Railway. Having run up from Taunton, the service will continue to Cardiff Central. You have the road into Bristol Temple Meads. Set the train up and get going when ready. Okay, so capsizing forward. Blind throttle and brake, so that should get us going. And there's a station right in front of us. .25 speed limit. So we're going round to the left here, I assume. Yep, there we go. Not a very pleasant day. Grey cloud everywhere and it's raining. Not a nice day in the West Country, but there you go. So we're going to come to a halt somewhere down this end of the train. It's a very short train, 2 cars basically. A very tiny train. Interestingly, signals beyond the station are on red, so it looks like we're going to have to be waiting for that to change once we've picked up our passengers. Okay, so we'll come to a halt here and open the doors. Just have a look outside. So that's our train. As you can see, 2 cars basically. Lights are on. Now we just need to wait for the passengers to have boarded, but also for a red signal to change by the look of it. Seems like we're going to be going too far initially until that signal changes. If we look at our task list, we've got quite a few. We're going to stop at Filton Abbey Wood, Hatchway, Seven Tunnel Junction, Newport and Cardiff Central. So quite a few stops this time. It's yellow difficulty, so there may well be some issues with signals along the way. Not a green one, which is the easy scenario, so okay, so let's just ease gently forward, waiting for this signal to change. Which hopefully it will soon, because we're not going to get very far unless it changes. That's for sure. Remember, speeding and bad drive quality, all that stuff, you lose points. If you pass a signal at red, then your scenario begins. Yellow, here we go. But next one, probably red, so I guess there's something running in front of us. 1 block ahead. But then it may depend on which line we're going on to here. Could be going on to a different line. It looks like we could be looking at the green signal here. Yep, we are indeed looking at the green signal, so there may be not too many signal problems initially by the look of things. We're heading towards a 40-mile-an-hour limit and we're a little over 4 miles from Filton Abbey Wood. assumes by the number of stops this is a sort of slow service. The faster trains stop at much fewer stations, but this one seems to stop just about everywhere. We now have a yellow or double yellow? Double yellow, I think. No, single yellow. And the next signal is not very far away. So whilst we're in the 40-mile-an-hour limit, we could be looking at the red signal. Just around this corner by the look of things. It's not green, I know that much, and indeed it is red. We're coming into a 60-mile-an-hour limit when the signal does change. And at the moment, it's red. So it looks like there could be a bit of this. It's like the following, I can only assume we're following the train in front. Let's go on yellow now. And fairly slow running train by the look of it. And we're going to have a few red signals, I think, guys. We shall see. I'm not going to go too far. We know it's a 60-mile-an-hour limit down here. I'm keeping my speed down because I suspect I could be facing another red signal. Certainly looks that way. On yellow again, so accelerate a bit. It's 3.25 miles, a little bit over to Bilton Abbey Wood where we have to stop. The walking man symbol there indicates it's a stop where you pick up passengers. Nice as the rain stops, but when you look at the skies, that doesn't look all that likely at the moment. I'm just waiting to see if we can see the next signal and see what it's on. Can't see it yet. A bit around this corner, so about a quarter of a mile away now, the signal. And scrolling this way, it shows you the distance to the signal, so I would hope we'll see it fairly soon and know whether we can increase our speed a bit or whether we need to remain cautious because it's on red. Well, it's yellow, I'll look at it. You can keep going a bit. Bear in mind this signal on yellow means the next one is red. So we're probably still running behind another slow train at the moment. Things may change after we make a Bilton Abbey Wood stop because that train may not stop there. In which case it'll get further ahead of us. It could go onto a different line. There could be lots of things that will help with us not having to worry so much about signals, but it's possible the train has gone off down there. And if that's the case, the next signal might be green on this line, but we'll see. Still away about half a mile to the signal, so hoping won't be red. Hoping. When you do have scenarios that are anything other than green difficulty on the career screen, then you can pretty much assume you're going to have problems with something, and very often it signals, but this one is yellow by the look of it, so let's continue increasing our speed a little bit. We're into a 75-mile-an-hour limit, so that in fact looks double yellow. No, it's single yellow. Single yellow, okay, so the next signal could still be red. Now about 1 3/4 miles from Fields Abbey Wood. So this route, I think in the career mode it said it was about an hour long, so not really the shortest of videos, guys, but I hope that's not too great a problem for you. But the scenarios are the length that they are, so it's worth always checking the length of the scenario in that screen and saying, well, do I want to do an hour long one now, or should I find a different route that's maybe only half an hour, depending on the time you've got to spare at that particular time. There's one on Donna Pass, which is an American scenario, where it's 3 hours and 35 minutes, something like that, I think. It's a terribly long time to have to be able to sit and play one scenario, to be honest. Towards the 60-mile-an-hour limit, but speed limits really are not a problem at the moment. We haven't really been able to get up that much speed because of the signals. Fields Abbey Wood is now on the scrolling map, so we're very nearly there. 3/4 of a mile away, just over. Looks like this signal is on yellow, I think. So we should be able to get into the Fields Abbey Wood platform without any difficulties, I think. We're not running terribly late, I don't think. 30 seconds. In 30 seconds is not a great issue, to be honest, but if you're 2 or 3 minutes late, that's obviously more of a problem. Now you can see that white line pointing bottom right, top left is indicating that we are going off to the left up here. So we need to change tracks here, I would imagine. Yep, there we go. Points are obviously set for you, so now we need to start slowing down for the platform, which I imagine is quite a short platform, isn't it? Then we're a very short train, so that shouldn't be any issue to us at all. We're going to stop down the end of this platform somewhere near this bridge, which I guess is where passengers come across from other platforms, so we notice the characters in the game, the passengers don't dress to the weather. It's tipping it down, but they're still in their t-shirts and everything, which is a shame. It'd be nice if they sort of dress to the weather, but there we go, kind of everything. Okay, so let's open the doors. Have a look, see what's happening out there. A few people getting on. It's going to leave the train again. It is. Yeah, it is Ariba. There it is. I say, it looks like the Ariba colour scheme. Which I do like. I do like that colour scheme. It's nice. Okay, so we're near enough ready to go. Receiving ready. There's the signal from the guard, and off we go. So Patchway Platform 2 is only a mile and a half away. Just over. I don't think we're likely to get up to 60 mile an hour with a 50 mile an hour limit coming anyway. But equally, we're not going to be going too fast anyway because we're going to need to be slowing down again. Ready for the platform. So I don't want to get too far behind time, so green signal, hey! We need to try and make as best speed as we can, because otherwise we will start to get later and later. At the same time, of course, we need to be able to stop at the platform. Because now we're all over 3/4 of a mile away. Green signal again. Start reducing the speed again. So you're not going to pick up a lot of time when there's such a short distance between platforms, unfortunately. Isn't Patchway just this side of the 7 tunnel, I think? So we'll therefore soon be getting to the 7 tunnel, because one of our stops is the 7 tunnel station. I think just the other side of the tunnel from here. I think Patchway is this side and the 7 tunnel is the other side. I think. But we'll see. Certainly doesn't look like speed limits are going to be a problem in this scenario. It doesn't look like we can get up enough speed for that to be an issue, so much more likely our issues are going to be with signals and such like. So here comes the platform now. We're going to be 45 seconds late, somewhere around that. Just wouldn't want to see that degree of lateness increasing too much further, to be honest. Start losing some of our bonus points. We're not keeping to time. So, see what we can do about it, but for now, let's open the doors. A few people around. Not many. One or two getting on. I've never seen people actually go across that bridge. That would be quite cool if you saw somebody walk across the bridge, but I've never seen that happen. At any station, not just that one. It would be quite good if you saw people going across the bridge. Like somebody running from the train. That would be quite good. And of course we don't leave without them. Okay, so there you go, that's the guard signal, and we're on our way again. And 7 Tunnel Junction, platform 3 is over 10.5 miles away, so we might be able to get some speed up this time. Hopefully get some time back. We need to, because according to the current ETA we'll be 3 minutes late, but of course we haven't picked up speed yet. We can get up somewhere near the 90 mile an hour speed limit, then we may find that that drops quickly. Hope so anyway. Don't want to be 3 minutes late. So we're coming into these couple of road bridges, and then I think soon the Severn Tunnel. I'm not sure it's covered. I don't think this is a tunnel under the River Severn. It's quite a bit longer than this, I thought. The road? Oh, this is fairly long. It might be actually. Depends if you're going under a slightly different bit of the river isn't quite as wide, possibly. Whatever, we're coming out now, back into the, I would say light, but it's not terribly nice. There you go. We need to start being a bit careful about our speed now. Getting close to 90. The degree to which we will be delayed is dropping, so we're down to like a couple of minutes now. Oops, and we're speeding. Because it's downhill. Because we're going downhill, we were picking up speed and tipped over the speed limit, but we got it back pretty quickly. So yeah, it's less than 2 minutes late now, so it's getting better. Double yellow signal, next one should be yellow, and then after that potentially red. And we need to start slowing from 75 mile/h speed. Still 7 miles to Severn Tunnel Junction platform 3, so plenty of time yet. We're now something like a minute and a half late. Now go for the ETA. Green signal again there. I heard the single ping from the signal, so that's good. That's for the speed limit, I assume. There's a warning sign, triangular warning sign at the side of the track there saying 75, warning us we're coming down to the 75 speed limit. And this, I think, coming up in Severn Tunnel. This looks much more like it. Because it was quite sharply downhill, and levels out at the bottom, and then we'll go uphill the other side and get back out again. So the likely delay is only sort of just over a minute now. So we're getting time back. That's good. We're travelling at round about 75 speed limit. Can't really do much more than that. And we're now 4.5 miles out. We're now headed to be less than a minute late. And that's good. I've got that back quite nicely actually, that's worked pretty well. And we're just about at the bottom of the climb into the flat area of the tunnel, then we'll start on the incline to go back out. starting now. Not sure, but I think those blue lights we went through indicate we were actually sort of about the middle of the tunnel. And now I think we're quite definitely on the climb out. See, it's uphill, so even though I'm pushing the accelerator, if you like, forward, we're not actually gaining speed much because we're going uphill. But we're now heading to be 25 seconds late. So we've done quite well on the time. You see the end of the tunnel coming now. Going to be out of the 7 tunnel, and then fairly soon after that we will see the platform. Interesting scenario, this one. This is definitely a bit different, as it said. It said things were a little different today, and certainly they are. Those descriptions do give you a pretty good idea of exactly what you're dealing with, so they're really helpful. I'm now going to be 10 seconds late according to our OTA, so we've got the time back. There's the platform coming, so, and also a 70-mile-an-hour limit just before it. We'll start losing a bit of speed now. We should be a matter of only a few seconds late now, hopefully, so should get us our bonus, hopefully, for being near enough in time. All we've lost so far is a very few points from when we ticked over that speed limit. Obviously you don't want to be going over speed limits, but it was a very minor one. Hopefully we may not be far off getting gold on this if everything goes okay from here on. That few points that we lost for that speed could be enough to knock us down into silver a bit. Well, silver's cool, that's not bad. Going to start braking a bit more now because we are nearly in the platform. See it in front of us, and there's potentially a red signal the other side of the platform by the look of it. I would suggest the next block is occupied, so we could be catching up with a train in front of us. There's a warning for the red signal. Okay, so into a halt. Come on, open the doors, look outside. There's a few people about, not many. The rain seems to be stopping a bit, it doesn't seem to be quite as bad as it did. It's now sort of pretty much drizzling. It's just a miserable day, really. Not very pleasant at all. Hopefully it'll brighten up. Okay, so passenger boarding is complete. We'll move forward. Now we're just got to wait for this road to change. scenario ending to pass a red signal. So it should be, you shouldn't pass signal danger. That is the worst thing you can do. It is long green. Right? I suspect it might have gone yellow, but it's gone to green, so it means we have about 3 blocks empty. The one that's green, the one that's double yellow, and the one that's single yellow. And after that, they could do it. So 70 mile an hour limit, so we'll try and get up towards that, about 9 miles to Newport. And again, we need to get time back, but we should do that as we did last section, hopefully. In fact, we're going at 75, it's saying, we're coming towards the 90. We've got another green signal. We should hit a ping from the warning system. There it is. Confirms you've got a green signal. Anything other than green, you get the alarm you have to acknowledge. If you don't acknowledge it within about 10-15 seconds, you know it's great to find you with lock points. So you have to be ready to acknowledge those messages as soon as they come, really. There looks like another green coming up. Yep, there we go. The delay that the ETA is indicating is starting to come down. Still got 7.5 miles to go, so I'm hoping that the delay by the time we get there will be fairly insignificant again. But I'm hoping. As long as these signals stay green, it gives you a chance of getting the time back. Because I'm using the mouse to move the controls, you can use the keyboard. You can use an Xbox controller, and also potentially the Raildriver cab controller hardware, although that is a couple of £100, I think. It's the cheapest thing in the world, but it then gives you actual levers you can move and buttons you can press. That might add a bit to playing Train Simulator. I haven't really seen any reviews of it, anybody using it who said, you know, this is really good, or indeed how difficult it is to set up Train Simulator. Does Train Simulator just recognise it and that's it, or I don't know. I think it's a USB device, but maybe it just recognises it and that's it. Work, I don't know. Do some research, I think. Okay, so we're still getting green signals, which is handy. Our delay is dropping. It's dropping a little bit faster, perfectly, but it's dropping. We're still 4.5 miles away. Newport. We'll be going into platform 2. As I said in the previous video, it'd be nice if you heard station now. But the train now arriving at platform 2 is the 1544 to Cardiff. Or whatever. That would be quite nice if you heard announcements like that at the station, but I think that would be quite cool. Now coming towards a 75 speed limit. So that is probably the warning for that, because there is a sign warning us. Signal though I think is on green. So you get alarms not only for signals not being green, but also for things like speed limits going down ahead, and it's making sure that the driver is aware of that. I think we've done fairly well in getting time back. Less than a minute delay now. I don't know, we might get it to be pretty much on time by the time we get there. We're now coming into this 75 limit, and there's a 40 coming up before we actually reach the station. Freight train there is being held at a signal to allow us to go by. At least I assume that's why the signal is red. I think the signal is red anyway. This one down here for him definitely is. Obviously a passenger service would get priority over a freight service anyway, so that might be where we brought that freight train to. Did we take that to Bristol? Bristol Parkway, I think, actually. And so there's another warning for lower speed limits. We're coming into this 40. We've started reducing speed for it, so there should be no issues. And we're down to something like 30 odd seconds late now. Again, that's gone about as well as we could have hoped. We shouldn't be delayed by too much by the time we get to the station. Okay, so here's the 40 mile an hour speed limit, and there's a 30 just before the station. Across the bridge. Some of the bridges you get on some of the scenarios, real feats of engineering. How did they build that? So they really are very impressive, particularly mountain type scenarios and stuff like that, or at least big hills and tunnels and bridges and everything. Amazing how much it must take to build all of that for trains to run. I think we sort of underestimate. Now only like 15 seconds late, so near enough on time as we come into Newport, which is just what I was hoping for. I'll apply the brakes now. Are we going left here? Yes we are. It's this platform here, that's fine. Quite a long platform at Newport. Quite a big station. I assume this is what it looks like, but I assume this is accurately modelled, I don't know. Certainly what I am familiar with Peterborough, there is a Blue Bridge, the Blue Road Bridge, just out at the station at Peterborough, and certainly when I've looked at that scenario that's accurately modelled, so I assume these things are pretty accurate. Coming to a halt. Open the doors, quick look. Yeah, one or two people getting on. There are people sitting in there, I can see. It'd be nice if the driver could have a wander back down the train, check everybody's okay, but then that's what conductors for, I suppose. So we'll now wait for that, and the signal from the guard. Go, off we go. Guard, conductor, whatever you want to call them. The other person on the train. A lot of trains in reality these days are going driver only. Quite controversial. Unions are not pleased about it, but there you go. They wouldn't be if it's anything that's potentially costing their members jobs, obviously. So we're going to this green signal here, so we're going through this right hand two tunnels. How far have we got? 11.5 miles. Coming into a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. Might be 30, but should change to 50 very soon. There we go. And hopefully start picking up some speed now. It's also downhill. That should enable us to pick up speed a bit quicker. Doesn't look like we're going to be terribly late. We should get time back, and at the moment it's only indicating about 1 minute 24 delay. So we should get that well down to just about on time, hopefully. I think the real challenge of Train Simulator is obviously the speed limits and everything and signals, but also actually running on time. Not always straightforward as you might think. I did get a few points lost again for speeding there, unfortunately. It ticked over the speed limit as it hadn't quite increased to 75 yet, and it was downhill, so it tipped over to 50. So I think realistically, if you like, we're looking at silver, I think, for this. And to get no worse than silver, I wouldn't be too upset. Silver's okay. Gold would obviously be nice in every scenario, but so we're approaching 75 in this speed limit, and it's going up to 95, so we should just be able to keep accelerating through here. There's the board, 95. Yep, so we will keep accelerating down here, green signals. Nothing to cause us any problems at this point. And we're 9.5 miles away. This is our final stop coming up, so that will be the end of the scenario when we get to Cardiff Central. So it has been a bit of a longer one. If there were any that were much longer than this, I would cut them into two, so when we make one of the stops at a station, we then there and then pick it up again in the next one. That would probably be the best way to do it, so we'll see how long the others are. This is about the longest I think I would probably do in one video for you guys, because otherwise they could get very long. Fairly straightforward at the moment, just like green signals all the way. So we're now doing 91 mile an hour, it's 95 limit, still 7.25 miles to go, so we're actually looking to be early now. So we probably don't need to be worrying too much about reaching 95 mile an hour. I'm reasonably happy to sort of keep my speed roughly where it is, would be good. The ETA is getting earlier and earlier at the moment, so there's no need to worry about being right on the limit, and we are heading towards the 75 limit again. So we'll start coasting and just let our speed gently reduce. Once we do get to that limit, we'll be less than 5 miles out from Harbour Central by then. That'll be a warning of the speed limit. There's the board. We need to brake a bit to get our speed down. We're now looking to be over a minute early arriving, so certainly I'm going to have problems with time that we're going to be early. So passengers don't usually complain when you're early, they'll complain if you're late. They usually don't have any problem with you being early. As long as you don't leave a station early, because that would be annoying. If you run for a train only to get there and find it's left early, you would not be terribly happy, would you? So certainly shouldn't be doing that, but generally we've been on time or just a few seconds late at each station along the way, so we haven't done badly. Haven't done badly at all. The weather hasn't cheered up anymore. It's still looking pretty unpleasant, I would say. So we're getting close now, we're only 3.5 miles out from Harbour Central. We're coming towards a 40 mile an hour speed limit, so start reducing our speed in anticipation of that limit. Then we'll probably get an alarm at some point just before to remind us that the speed limit is falling, which we will have to acknowledge when it comes. Be round about now? No? Okay. Maybe that was probably a bit too early. It should be coming up, I would have thought. Before too long we would get. That's for the green signal. I imagine the alarm will come at some point if we're going down into this 40 limit. Here it is. That'll be for the speed limit. And here comes the warning board. Triangular board, you can see the 40 limit. We're still going to be over a minute early, so no problem for time. We're 2 miles out just over. Green signals, so just hopefully roll straight into Cardiff Central, that'll be good. Fairly pleased with this scenario, I've got to say. Could have had its problems with the signals and everything at the beginning, and it is of course yellow difficulty, but generally I think it's gone quite well. We'll keep reducing our speed a bit as we're getting close now. We're only 1.5 miles out. We'll need fairly soon to be braking for our final stop, and there is a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit shortly before the station. We're very close now. Just about 1.25 miles out. Should soon be able to see Cardiff Central Station probably. Coming on to the moving map display now. We're exactly a mile out. Showed 1 mile on the moving map display down there, so that's your distance to the first point of the platform. The distance to the ideal stopping position is now coming down to just about a mile. The ideal stopping position is normally at the far end of the platform as you enter it, so you normally have to run straight down the platform, so that's why there'll be a difference between that distance and the distance shown on the map for distance to the platform, because that one is talking about the beginning of the platform and that one's talking about the end. Whether this difference will be the length of the platform effectively. I'm still going to be a good 50 seconds early. So we have a warning there for a signal, which is double yellow by the look of it. That's not going to be an issue to us. The next one will be single yellow, and then after that it's the platform anyway, so that's a warning of the 15-mile-an-hour speed limit. It's a board for it. Lots of flats at Cardiff. Big blocks of flats in the station, that's a sure fact. They look quite new though, quite new flats I would say. So we're still going to be about 40 seconds early, coming down to about 35, so we should be fine to be almost bang on time. Make sure our speed is below 16, so we're coming to that 15 limit. We're going into platform 7. You can see above the yellow signal there is a 7, indicating that we're okay to go into platform 7. And we are very nearly there. Cardiff station is in sight. You can see the platform. And it has indeed rained all the way, so no sign of it brightening up yet. Maybe it's just going to be a wet day. I'm not sure what time of year it's supposed to be in the simulation, but it looks like a sort of dreary autumn day, I would say, but possibly winter, but certainly doesn't look much like a summer's day. Maybe we do get wet days in summer, but I think this looks a bit more winter. None too pleasant. here we go, we're coming into the station now. That'll be for the red signal at the end of the station, which is of no concern to us because we're stopping here anyway, and this is our final stop. We'll just roll to a halt. There we go, that should be fine. Open the doors for the final time, and once that red symbol gets across to roughly where the clock is, we should get our debrief. Turn the wipers off now. They will turn off, will they? Yeah, there you go, that's better. And we did arrive early. We weren't actually due here till 16:01 and 26 seconds, not even 16:01 yet. So we've got to sit a bit longer waiting for our debrief because we are early. We should be there fairly soon. It's only about 30 seconds away to the time that we should have been here now. And the red symbol is moving across reasonably well, so we'll get our debrief soon and we'll see. I'm still holding out hope for silver. Okay, great work. All tasks completed successfully. Let's see how well you did. Silver. Okay, so if I go back to the career screen and go down to this scenario, see we now have 1 gold and 4 silvers, and next time we'll be looking at orange difficulties, so they'll be getting more difficult as we go. We've got a 35-minute one, Cheltenham Spa to MySteaks, we'll probably do that next. So if you enjoyed the video guys, hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe for more Train Simulator updates, and I'll see you next time. Take care, bye now.